Hi, ThatPaulGuy. So last week, if you remember, we were talking about how to figure out or how to see what's in your computer without actually turning it off and opening it up and all that stuff. So today I'm going to show you something a little bit different. If you quick recap on last week, you could go down here and you right click on the Windows icon and hit System, and it'll bring it up. You hit About, go down here to System Info, and that will give you that splash screen that has Windows 10 on it and tells you processor, memory, and all that stuff. Or you could go to where the search is. In this case, it's Cortana, and you could start to type in the system information, and that will click, and that brings you up to this screen that gives a little bit more in depth, and it'll again tell you how much memory. It'll tell you some of the brand names and all that stuff and what you got running. But we're going to do something a little bit different today. We're going to take a look at something that'll give you a little bit more in-depth look at how those things are running and if those things are causing you any problems in your computer. So what we're going to do is we're going on the bottom left-hand corner of your keyboard. There's the Control button. Then the button right above that is Shift, and then the Escape button in the top left, and that brings up our Task Manager. So when we bring up the Task Manager, we're going to concern ourselves. This is all the stuff that's running in your computer right now, all the processes. And you can go and click each one of these and look at them, but for right now we're going to concern ourselves with the Performance button. Now that Performance button tells us the CPU and the memory and the hard drives you got going on, whether it's Ethernet or Wi-Fi, and how much work your GPU is doing. Well, right now you can see that my memory is running pretty smooth at about 38%. It's 6 gigs out of 16 that are being used. My CPU is humming right along about 10 to 12%, so that's pretty good itself. And everything else seems to be pretty well in line. Now the Ethernet looks like it's spiking down here, but if you look at these numbers, it's not really a whole lot going on. There's not a lot of signal being passed back and forth, so it's not really busy at all, even though it kind of looks like it on the screen. Alright, so we're also going to take a look at one other little thing in here. I'm going to click on memory so we can see that, but we're going to click on the Open Resource Monitor. And when we click on that, that will bring up a little bit different type of snapshot. And this is going to tell us, again, it tells us all the processes that are being used, but we're going to look real quick at Overview. And Overview on the right hand side, if you look at that, again, that shows you a little bit broken down the way the Task Manager did, where the CPU, the disk, the network, and the memory. But if we break these out, say click on CPU, we'll be able to see all the different threads in our CPU and how much work they're sharing right now. And this goes 0 to 15 because I have 16 threads. I've got an 8-core 16 thread. And in computer programming, everything starts with zeros and ones. It's all binary, 0 and 1. So the numbering here also starts 0. So it goes 0 to 15, even though there's 16 threads. It doesn't go 1 to 16, it goes 0 to 15. My memory, you can see it's pretty stable across there, and it even tells what kind of usage and what it's being used on, what's going on with it right now. Okay, so again, you can take a kind of a look at that. We can click on these other two just to see what's going on, but they're not really as important right now to what we're trying to work on and think about. What I'm mostly concerned with is the memory, because a lot of times when you're running a computer and it's starting to get slower and it's starting to bog down and applications aren't running as fast as they used to, or it has trouble opening them up, a lot of times one of these two things is happening. Either your CPU is getting maxed out, or it's going up to 99 or 100% and it's struggling to try to keep up, or your memory, it's trying to use so much of the memory that it's maxing that out, or there's spikes in it you can't account for, or something, or you'll see this go up there and just hang up there, and your programs will take forever to try to load or run because you don't have enough memory. Now we'll cover how to put memory in a PC and in a notebook in another video, but for right now we just wanted to try to identify if we thought we had any problems. In my particular case, there's no problems running with my computer. I've done a lot of playing around, a lot of work, and trying to make sure that everything was running smooth, and so that's the end result. But what I wanted to do was wanted to show you guys how to look for yourself to see if there's any bottlenecks or anything that was causing problems that you could look at yourself. Don't worry about clicking on all these buttons here. There's nothing you can click on that's going to harm your computer in any way. It's just simply showing information so you can go back and you can look and see what's going on in your computer. And it's kind of a way to look at, see how your computer is running without actually trying to tinker with it and trying to mess with it to find out. So that that's all I got. That I just wanted to show you guys that in conjunction with what we were doing last week to kind of give you a look at inside your computer without actually looking inside your computer, that you've got some software on your system right now that'll help you try to figure those things out. So as always, folks, you're welcome to leave me comments, thumbs up, thumbs down. That red subscribe bar, you're always welcome to hit and subscribe to this channel. The little bell icon will remind you when I'm doing these videos again. And until next week, or until a couple days from now when I have a review of a monitor coming up and some other stuff going on, that's all I got. So I will see you later.